Hello, how are you all today? How are you? I hope you're all doing well and are all healthy. We'll start with a prayer for all those that find themselves in more unfortunate circumstances. Ono Adonai Heishiano, Ono Adonai Hatzlichano. We can never forget our brothers. We can never forget those that are in pain and are suffering. We always have to think of them. Chasidim ein mishpacha in particular. Today is a fantastic day on the Jewish calendar. Afreilich in Rosh Chodesh. It's Rosh Chodesh Nissan. We're not going to go into the particular aspects of how fantastic the day of Rosh Chodesh Nissan is. We are going to talk about the concept of Rosh Chodesh and how it applies to our current situation in the world in a manner which is so direct. It's amazing. Chassidus talks about the cycle of every month, the new moon, the rebirth. On about today, Rosh Chodesh Nissan, the Torah says, HaChodesh Hazeh Lochem, Rosh Chodoshim. How does it work? It works that the moon gets smaller and smaller, and then it's reborn. And Chassidus relates it to the verse that says, "V'nifkadeta ki poket mishavecha." You were remembered. David HaMelech was told, you were remembered. V'nifkadeta ki poket mishavecha, because your seat was empty. You were conspicuous in your absence. And Chassidus explains, first comes Yipoket Mishavecha, there's an emptiness, there's a void, and that void brings about V'nifkadeta, you're remembered, renewed. So, what is the cycle? In other places in Chassidus, this cycle is called Yesh, Ayin, Yesh. When you want to go from one existence to another existence, there's a period of nothingness in between. Yesh, being or existence. Ayin, nothingness, non-existence, non-being. To Yesh, a new being, a renewed being, an incomparably far, far greater being. The best way to explain it, and this also sheds light on a subject which Chabad Chassidus is filled with this subject from beginning to end, is the concept of objectivity. And by the way, this cycle is connected to creativity also. How does one come to intellectual truth? Was the pshat, seichel? What does intellect really mean? To come to the truth and to see the truth as the truth is. Not to project your opinion upon the truth, but to absorb, to allow truth to permeate your being. So how does it work? When a person comes to any subject, any concept, with preconceived notions, with previous prejudices, so then he won't come to truth, because he's going to take it in a warped, twisted way. Only when you make yourself a vehicle for truth, only when you make yourself so-called empty of your personal take on something, and you're on a quest for truth and try to get rid of the excess baggage, then you will come to truth. To bring a similar concept, an historian in an interpersonal relationship, is the story with the Tzemach Tzedech, where someone once came to the Tzemach Tzedech and said, Rebbe, he's talking about the synagogue and the shul, and he says, Rebbe, everyone treads upon me. So the Tzemach Tzedech told him, who asks you to spread yourself over the entire shul, that wherever one treads, they tread upon you? This guy was Mr. Annoying. Of course he didn't get respect. He had an opinion about everything, even when he wasn't asked his opinion. The air conditioner is too cold, the heating is too hot, the rabbi talks too long, the chazan is not a good chazan. He's always coming and rushing with his opinion, and he has to share it with the world. The Rebbe told him, go on an ego diet. Who asked you to spread yourself all over the synagogue, that wherever one treads, he treads upon you? If you'll just become less full of yourself, then you will have more room for others, and others will be able to coexist with you. So too is true with godliness and with truth. Someone once told me another analogy about surfing. We want to surf and we want to ride the big wave. If you stand tall and the big wave is coming, it's going to smack you down and it might even be fatal. If you want to ride the big wave, you have to bow and merge with it. And this is really the concept of Bittul. I was once learning with somebody and we were talking about Bittul, and I translated it in English as self-nullification. He said, Rabbi, that sounds so scary. It sounds like almost self-annihilation. And I realized he's right. We have to present it another way. It's not so much surrender, even though we have to surrender, but there's no such a concept of surrendering for the purpose of surrendering. It's surrendering in order to become enveloped and embracing infinity. It's about transcendence. So this is what the world is going through right now. We are in a state of Ayin, a major Ayin. And why is this major Ayin happening? In order to come to a great big Yesh, a new existence, a new world. But for some reason, we didn't come to it on our own. Hashem had to help us reach this state. And as the Rebbe Rashab said, which tonight is his Yortzeit, his Hilula, a great day, 100 years, he said these words, listen carefully. He said, humble yourselves before you'll have to be humbled. Humble yourselves before God will have to humble you. So I want to wish you success in your trait of humility, which will bring to true creativity and will bring to objectivity. And this will bring us to the ultimate Yesh, the Yesh Ha'amiti, God's Yesh. God's true being will be revealed throughout the whole world. Begula Ha'amitis Vashleima. Broadcasting from my sanctuary, your man in Melbourne. Seid alle gesund!